my friends. It is another Saturday. It is CyberBuzz Radio. I'm starting to see people filter in. I'm glad to see you guys. Hello. Wow, Neil showed up. My goodness gracious. I see people are already over saying hi on Theta. Corbin's here. PZ's jumped in. Hi, John. Welcome. Good morning. I'm wondering if today is going to be another sort of tiny, calm show. You know, one of the funny things is we're so close to Christmas. We're so close to the holidays. And yeah, Neil, we could talk about that today. Sure. I have no actual plans for today's show because, of course, if you are seeing the thing anywhere out and about, then of course you will have noticed that, like all good things, it is the last show before a holiday break. So the last CyberBuzz show before the holidays, which is, I suppose, mildly annoying. But then again, you know, people are probably about ready for a break from me. But the way that things fall, the way that things happen to be going around about this time of year is that next Saturday, 1 week from now, is Christmas. It is officially 1 week till Christmas, which is bullshit. How did that happen? I'm not prepared. And I don't intend to be prepared even on Christmas Day. So there you go. So yeah, 1 week till Christmas. And then 1 full week after that will actually be New Year's Day. So there's a good chance that there won't be CyberBuzz Radio episodes for 2 full weeks. And I know that everyone will be just horribly crushed about that. So today we're going to have to make up for it. We'll have a little bit of fun. We'll listen to some good music. We'll talk about some stuff I thought we'd, touch on some of the weird things happening around our sort of shared blockchain area, depending on how many people show up from, the Hive ecosystem. We could talk a little bit about some of our hopes for the next year for disruptive technology, VR, AR, blockchain, what we'd like to see. It's not quite a New Year's resolution, but maybe some things that we would enjoy seeing as the year goes on. And I'll play some good music and we'll just hang out because that's kind of where we're at. It's a hangout kind of day. I don't know about you, but this is the time of year that if you're in the right part of the world, you might get some snow. We got some snow here last night and it promptly melted into just slushy disaster shit this morning. So it's not a nice day outside. It's a good time to be indoors, have a warm coffee, and relax. John says, blast us with pre-recorded fireplaces and rock music. Even though I have a real fireplace and I run the real fireplace at the holiday time, I still put the fireplace on the TV. Why would I watch a real fireplace? Or why would I not have an additional fucking 4K full HD 80-inch fireplace next to my actual fireplace? All of the fireplaces. The more fireplaces you have, the better you are at the holidays. That's just science, frankly. I don't make the rules. I don't make the Christmas rules, guys. Hey, kitty girl, and more people are slowly sidling in. Here's Ron. Hello. So yeah, and then of course Neil is mentioning the wolf talk. So there was some kind of joking. There was some joking talk about some drama around Hive, which we could talk a little bit about today if you guys want. But the general sort of consensus that came out of it is we need a pet community. We need a pet front end. We need some sort of chill, kind of shit posty pet community. And it came out of the fact that we realize fully that this would probably trigger a lot of people on Hive. And that's one of those things where this particular show, we often talk about, sort of the economic or the social and, cultural constructs around building a community on blockchain. And often we just talk about the tech stuff. But this one to me is kind of funny. And I thought, yeah, okay, we could talk about this. We have some good ideas. And Neil's right. It might be something we should pursue. So you guys, of course, are the best test audience, people across all of the different streams, wherever you may be watching. You guys always have good ideas. So we'll bounce that off of you. We'll see what the general consensus is. So yeah, I'll give everybody a chance to kind of wander in. I do have lots of music today to kind of make up the holiday atmosphere. I was thinking maybe I could find a way to change my lighting to be a little more Christmassy, but all of the sort of done Christmas scenes on everything tends to be Yeah, you have the pet community, Hive Pets and Catter Day, but we're talking about like a full front end, a token, an add-on service to go along with it. Like none of this just come here and post your pets. We're talking about something more. We're talking about a movement. And yeah, we really want the token. Woof. So we can maybe shoot the shit about that as we go. But I am going to quickly play a track. I'm going to give myself a chance to kind of get settled in. I'm going to give more people a chance to wander in because the Discord is slowly filling up and I can see people all over the different streams. And yes, Dog's own account. So that is something, you're right, only Hive has Murphy Dog. And actually Murphy Dog was part of it. So we could possibly talk about a little bit of drama today. We could do that because this is one of those things where we're going to see it happening more and more, and we're going to see more and more totally pissed off people trying to figure out what is the community culturally appropriate response to pets having accounts. Hey, Trinkowski, good to see you, man. So with that being said, let me play a quick track and then we'll talk a little bit about your holiday plans and all of this other stuff. Valerie, hello. I forgot to say hi to you earlier on Theta. And I saw Otto was here earlier as well and JJ. So there's quite a few people who are hanging out. And I'm glad to have you guys today. So today is a chill day, talking about all sorts of dumb shit, forward looking, hopefully happy, and a prep for the holidays. I hope you guys are all doing super well and you have fun holiday plans because, of course, the Grinch has come and I don't fucking know. What kind of monster would downvote a dog? Yeah, you know, Julia, we could talk a little bit about that because it is indeed happening and it has indeed touched off some more drama. So maybe we'll talk about all of the downvoted dogs. It's like a bad yoga position. And then the other thing, I guess I'll do an update is, speaking of dogs and speaking of Full Force Rescue, for those of you guys who have been at the other shows and we've been talking about, Lulu is now here in the country. She's doing awesome. And the plan is to bring Lulu's mom into the country as well and to start her on a new life and get her towards somebody who may adopt her. And actually this morning, before I just got on air for the show today, I was talking with the airline and we have a date in January. So I am getting all of the stuff put together. She will be here in January. So that's very exciting. And apparently there's just hours and hours and hours worth of work of customs and whatnot to do. So I'm kind of sad that I won't be able to just smuggle a dog across the border again. Theoretically, in Minecraft, I definitely didn't do that once, and I would never do it again. Obviously. Obey the rules or something. Okay, so let me play a quick track here, and then we will move on, and we will jump in and we'll start talking about some stuff. Whether that is, dogs on Hive, a new community, a new token, doggy drama. We'll talk a little bit about holiday stuff. I'll talk about some cool holiday disruptive tech and, whatever you guys want to do. And then, we'll listen to some I don't want to say Christmassy music because Synthwave doesn't need to be Christmassy. And I hate Christmas carols. I don't know about you guys. Christmas carols, Christmas songs, Christmas whatever. Hey, Solo. Hi, Stace. I don't like Christmas music. I don't know if that makes me a Grinch. I'm okay with it. But this whole idea that, Halloween is over and all of the radio stations, yes, New Year's resolutions, exactly. I like it. Otto's resolution is to never miss any of my streams. Well, see, your New Year's resolution is going to be so easy because on Saturdays, for two Saturdays in a row, I won't have a stream. You're going to start off fucking just with a win. It's awesome. But yeah, so I'm a bad person, I guess. It's terrible. These stores and radio stations, they just flip over. And it's so bad. I mean, I can't think of a lot of Christmas songs that I could listen to on repeat. The day of Christmas, where you're already partially a little bit drunk and buzzed and you're loving on people and, has Sacred jumped in with us. Hi, Sacred. It's good to see you. But yeah, so Julia's saying she had to listen to it for half an hour in the pharmacy. Stace is one day and then I'm over it. I fully agree. For me, it's if I've got, a coffee full of alcohol or, a boozy eggnog and people are plying me with presents and like cookies, then I'll listen to the stupid music for a day and I'll get into the season of it. But oh Lord, it's everywhere and I don't want to do that to you. So I do have some holiday, in sort of air quotes, holiday tracks today, but they're not Christmas songs. I'm not gonna make you guys listen to Christmas music because I wouldn't do that to you. I love you. This is my gift to you. Neil's like, I love eggnog. Yeah, me too. Ron says make eggnog pancakes. I'm actually making eggnog cupcakes. I've got the buttercream already done. I make a fabulous eggnog cupcake. So buttercream, the icing that goes on top, eggnog and rum in the buttercream. And then the same thing when you make the actual cupcake base, instead of using the regular liquids, you put in eggnog. Highly recommended. Frankly, yeah, Sacra's got the pancake gifts going now too. Fuck, yeah, pancakes. So the reality is eggnog can go into anything that has a liquid or requires like liquid and fat. Hell yeah. Just eggnog it up. Hey, Gecko. All right, so I'm going to play a quick track that is not at all way, shape, or forms related to... that is in no way, shape, or form related to Christmas. We'll listen to that one track, and when we come back, I guess let's just dive headfirst into some doggy drama, because obviously, like, we all love dogs. Dogs are a great topic, and we'll go with it, right? We'll go with it. Okay, so I'm going to play you a track by Wave Shaper called Radio Signal, because of course here it is. You are listening to CyberBuzz. The radio signal is loud and strong and in your ears, and promise it won't be too Christmassy. And we'll have a little bit of fun today. We'll play around. Hi, Party Ogre. We'll play around. We'll talk about, kind of cool Christmas stuff and disruptive tech. And we'll try to, for one day while we're all here together, we'll try and put aside the dystopian misery of the earth right now. I hope you guys are able to get together with your family and your loved ones. I know that a bunch of places are trying to tell people that they can't. Well, fuck them. I'm having a get together tonight, and I specifically went out of my way to invite a couple of extra people just cause. And that's it. We're gonna have a good time. And we'll roll with it from here on out. So let's do it. I'm going to play you guys a Radio Signal. And after this track, we'll come back and we'll talk about doggy blockchain drama, I guess, before we get into the holiday stuff. go. Wave Shaper is one of those artists where, like, if you just enjoy chill down tempo synthwave that you just want to put on in the background and have a good time, Wave Shaper is right there for you. So hey, welcome. It's CyberBuzz Radio. We're just getting started. People are starting to wander in, so hello to everybody else. Mars just rocked up and followed. Hey, man. So today I was going to talk a little bit about, Christmas, holiday, non-denominational celebration, disruptive technology. I thought we'd talk a little bit about Hive stuff. And then, of course, Neil popped in. So we're definitely going to kind of start off with the potential for sort of a pet-focused, like, I don't even want to say it'll be like software as a service, but potentially some sort of interconnected dog accounts and services that could be attached to a token and a front end, and what that would look like on Hive. And then, of course, that means we're going to have to touch on some drama that's happening. And we often do that on the show, so why the hell not? But of course, yeah, talking about Krim, tell us about your Hive trades. Well, I don't trade a ton, but I will say... Kitty Girls posted a dog coin meme in chat. Yes, crypto and dogs, it's true. It's absolutely so true. But I don't trade Hive a lot. But I will say, through this last period, and especially since the pump, I took a handful of tokens over to an exchange, and I've simply been trading like 5-cent, 10-cent swings, which in the case of, if you have, say, 10,000 tokens, a 5-cent swing, $500, a 10-cent swing, $1,000. And that's been going really well. So I'm just free rolling, scraping back off the top and bringing money back in. So do as I say, don't do as I do. This is the first time I've ever tried it, and I wouldn't recommend it. I'm absolutely terrible at it, but I am overall up. So yeah, the Hive price has been climbing back upwards again. And it's one of those things, this is a market-wide phenomena. And it's quite interesting because I've even seen some of you guys, but people around the web right now are talking about crypto winter as though this is the depths of crypto winter. And it makes me think, my goodness, what a year this last year has been, that this right now feels like crypto winter. Absolutely wild when you think about it, because compared to the last time we went through a true deadly dark and cold crypto winter, this is doable right now. We've had sort of some backing off between, Bitcoin and dominant coins. Yeah, bunch of pussies. Exactly, Neil. These people have not experienced anything yet. These are sweet summer children. Winter is coming. But you must say, one of the things that's so great about Hive and everything else is that it generally sort of plods along at a middling pace, which obviously in today's world, even if you're not a crypto person, and I know many of you guys that join me aren't, or you're just delving into crypto because you've just started on Theta, or you're just starting on Vim TV, or you're just experiencing Hive, these sort of gateway to crypto, you might not be a true sort of crazy crypto person yet. But what everybody wants now is, we had DeFi summer, decentralized finance summer. And of course, what that was number go up. If you didn't pick a coin and it didn't go 1,000 times, 10,000 times, what were you even fucking doing, man? And unfortunately, what that's done is it has built a group of people who will disregard any coin that doesn't move absolutely parabolically, and who are ill prepared for sort of natural corrections in crypto prices. Because of course, something that goes up 10,000% cannot stay there. Of course it can't. You almost don't want it to. That's incredibly unhealthy. And so, yeah, there are a lot of people who are really pissed off that Hive made it up to $4 and is now sort of in the middling $1.50 range. But much like any crypto at the start of this year, was sitting at, 10 cents, 13 cents. So now you're at a comfortable 10 times that. And most coins are kind of in that boat. People are going, I can't believe Bitcoin isn't even 50K. It was $3,000. What is your problem? Be happy. There is a slow, healthy, building, rolling wave of crypto adoption. It's not going away. And the more that people start getting into it, the more we're going to see we're going to see weak hands who will experience things like this and have a panic. But over here on the Hive side of things, I hope you guys are actually feeling pretty good about it. This has been a good year. It has been an interesting year, and hopefully a sign of things to come. The general trend line would be great if we just continued along that. It'd be nice. But so here's the deal, moving into sort of some of the stuff around Hive and all the wonderful things that it can do. Of course, we all know Hive brings together community. And what happens where people gather? It's not just that marketplaces form. We get on each other's nerves, right? And this has been a long-standing thing around Hive and anywhere, whether it is a... yes, exactly, Shadows. Whether it is a community where, people rub each other the wrong way after time, whether it is, a team where somebody wants one position and everyone else is not happy with them wanting that position or whatever, right? People are complicated. Communities are difficult. It's difficult to build a super strong, well-gelled community because there's so many differences in people. And of course, Hive is a community, whether we like it or not. It is an incredibly social blockchain, an incredibly social crypto. And many of you, I have had the great joy in my life to have met through this sort of sphere, through this topic, through this place, through this community. So yeah, it does bring people together. But of course, when you bring a lot of people together, sometimes they're, like fist fights. That's just, think about holiday parties. What happens when you pull out like Monopoly or Uno? Most people are like, okay, let's play. And somebody is getting ready to either flip the board or like, I don't know, fucking just knock out the person across from them. It's human nature, man. Party Ogre saying, I railroad all conversations I have with all people to the topic of crypto. Parties, weddings, funerals, I talk crypto. Yeah, and that's basically how things are going to go from here on out. I mean, more and more people are going to discover it. They're going to ask about it. They're going to hate it. They're going to love it. They're going to talk about it. So we have a big Hive community, and we have communities on the blockchain. And so one of the things right now that's really interesting, and sort of we've spent a lot of time over the last 2 years talking about, isn't it interesting how sort of social mores and social culture develops where a lot of people get together that are like-minded. A big enough group of people hang out in the same place doing the same thing. The community adopts rules. They may not be like actual rules, but they're unspoken things or loudly shouted soapbox things that the community wants. Now, one of them is very interesting, and I think it was Neil that brought this up, is there are a couple of people out on the chain who have accounts for their dogs or their pets. And this is super common on social media. I don't know about you guys, but there's probably a great chance that on like traditional social media, you follow like somebody's cute dog, somebody's hilarious cat, somebody's like emotional support llama. I mean, I'm definitely guilty. I'll follow a dog account. People suck and I hate social media, but I will absolutely follow like a dog Instagram account. No doubt. Absolutely. No questions asked. And so it's interesting because one of the sort of rules over the past couple of years that has been developing over time, percolating, if you will, in the minds of Hive users, is that, you should only have one real account. And if you have a lot of accounts and you're using a lot of accounts and you're posting specifically for rewards, well, that's bad. That's a bad thing and you shouldn't do it. This is sort of a newer a newer sort of thing, which is, hey, don't make a ton of different accounts with the idea of, molestering, which is a safer word, molestering the rewards pool. And this is so interesting because, Juliet, you've got a great point. People love novelty accounts. They love them. They're fun. They're stupid. You spin one up that, just want to make fun of whatever meme du jour there is. Or you realize I post so many pictures of my dog, fuck it, I'm going to make a dog account. And so this is really interesting to me because you're right. On other forms of social media where rewards are not at stake, People love a novelty account. But here on Hive recently, it is apparently starting to have a thing. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Shadows Pub. It's starting to be a thing, and it started off with Ganja Farmer created an account for his dog, and, I believe Hive Watchers went out of their way to ban or block or whatever the fuck it is that Hive Watchers does. I don't even know anymore. Because it's multi-account. And I thought, boy, that's interesting, isn't it? You prefer only one account per dog. All right, fair enough. Yes, I would agree. I wouldn't want my dog actually sort of parting out his different, like maybe one account is just, outdoor adventures, and one is my dog's meals instead of like taking pictures of my own food, just my dog's food every day. Can you imagine an Instagram account that just posted the same bowl of kibble every day? But so this is an interesting thing. It's an interesting thing that's happening on Hive. Hey guys. Oh yeah. Only robot dog accounts suck. Hi. Oh, Matt, I haven't seen you in ages. Happy holidays. And to everybody else, Joe's hopped in, Chop Lamb. Hi. Well, before we get into some other stuff today, we're touching on the idea that we wanted to talk a little bit about a potential sort of dog community token and what some services around that would look like. But we're also talking a little bit about how interesting it is that there are some weird sort of cultural things that are sort of brewing around the Hive blockchain. And so there you go. Party Ogre says, when I first joined Facebook in like 2008, I stumbled upon a group of accounts that were all characters from the cast of Saved by the Bell. And they were all talking to each other as if they were, as if they were real people and having real experiences. That's hilarious. People love that. But on Hive, so far hasn't been super well appreciated. And it's interesting because on Steam it was. And so this is something that came up is, you could set all posts to burn rewards and only use a secondary layer token. Is that possible? It absolutely is, Julia. And I think in general, this is going to be something that we see happen. Yo, Nudie Chuderi. I probably said your name wrong, but that's so this is something that's probably going to happen. We know that anytime you have the reward pool, everybody feels a little protective of the reward pool. And Trinkowski's neighbor's dogs bark a lot. And he's saying he would downvote the ever-living snot out of his neighbor's dogs. Fair enough. So let's try and get to the meat of this here. One of the interesting things is back on Steam, obviously things were a little different, and the way the reward pool was approached was a little different. Dog accounts were A-okay, and I had a dog account. I had an account for Murphy Dog. You're from India. I'm sorry I wrote your name stupidly, but I'm glad you're here. Thanks for coming to hang out. We're talking about weird blockchain stuff and dogs and voting and holidays and, join in. It'll be great. So on Steam, I had an account for my dog. I was right. It's very obvious that this dog is my dog. It's very obvious that this was my multi-account. It's very obvious that I was posting from 2 accounts, earning rewards on 2 accounts. But Murphy Dog, everybody loved Murphy Dog. Fast forward a couple of years later, and here we are on Hive, and now apparently it's happening that people are going, okay, well, I know that dog's your dog, and that's multi-accounting, and you can't, it's bad. We don't like it. We don't want to be here for it. We're not going to support it. And I find that very interesting. I find this very, very interesting that this is, you miss Murphy Dog. Yeah, Neil's encouraging me to think about it again. So I find this interesting because one of the things that we talk about is like, how do we get, I like everybody, Nudie. I'm happy to have you. I don't worry about any particular geographical area. If you want to come hang out with me, you are cool in my books. So what do you guys think? Knowing that this is how Hive is developing. And you know what? There are some good things around this. We complain a lot about sort of some of these sort of gatekeepery reward pool aspects of Hive that are difficult. But one of the things that we've seen in this case is, Steam is full of shit. It's garbage. The rewards pool is a disaster. The content is a disaster. It is generally a complete failure. And part of that is because most of the community moved to Hive. And what that meant is most of the people who cared enough to sort of consider self-policing or consider what makes a great platform, or, think about what the people around them and what they themselves want to experience. They just moved away. And so that platform is full of trash. But here's Hive still trying to struggle with, what does social media look like when attached to a rewards pool? And we know money changes everything, whether that money is crypto or whether that money is money or whatever. As soon as there are rewards tied, as soon as there are sort of motivations and incentives to go along with your social experience, things change. Now, overall, Hive is pretty good about this. Most people around the ecosystem are pretty good about this. But we are starting to see some really, really extensive sort of applications of these ideas. So, yeah, we could talk about that a little bit too, Trinkowski. One of the things that is really kind of interesting, and one of the things that we kind of brought up was, okay, well, if a dog account on Hive is multi-accounting and rewards farming, wouldn't it be interesting as I want to, how do I put this? I know that a lot of people support me because of one reason or another, whether that's because they really like my content, whether that's because they like me as a person, whether or not that's because they're happy with the job that I'm doing as a consensus witness, whether they're or not, they're like, shit, I know this chick's going to get a bunch of votes, so I'm going to slide in there and get my cut of curation. Whatever the reason may be, over the past 5 years of busting my ass, hey, hi, author, I do pretty well on Hive. And, that comes with some good things and that comes with some bad things. But one thing that I would be very interested in, what is my Instagram account? I only camp my name. So I have an Instagram account with 0 pictures on it. What can I say? It's not very interesting. Don't worry about it. So for me, what I'm interested in is if I resurrected the Murphy Dog account, how would that be treated by the overall community? And would that be enough to kind of get some people thinking about some of the hypocrisy around this? Yeah, it's not meant to be a humble brag, Neil, but the reality is okay, all these people who are willing to kind of, kick a random because they've made an account for their dog, would they do the same thing because they perceive me? Thank you. Hey, man. You are now officially part of the community, part of the crew. Welcome. Do you think that they would treat me the same way? And either result would be very interesting and kind of important for the platform. If they wanted to start downvoting me for multi-accounting with Murphy Dog, well, now we have to have a conversation. Novelty accounts are part of the platform. Pet accounts, pets and food are two of the biggest things on social media. They are what brings people together. Forget technology. Those are the most important things that we consume. There's that. So if they started downvoting me on that, it would be like, all right, how do we have this discussion knowing that this is at the heart of where people gather and consume and trade and create value is around pets or food? That's one. But the flip side is, what if they don't? And they probably wouldn't. Why not? Do I not deserve the same treatment? And the reality is, I do. Of course I do. And I've been very open on this show, and we've often talked about it, and it often really triggers people, so I don't want to descend into it, but we often talk about the idea of downvoting content on this show. And, for a long time there, I would invite you guys to go find one of my posts and just give it a downvote. Just to do it, because knowing that I wouldn't take it personally and that it's a scary thing that a lot of people were uncomfortable doing. And I would say, just go find one of my posts. Just do it. Go ahead. Take that scariness away from it. As long as your dog has his own cell phone, he needs his own account. Yeah, I'll show you in a second. I'll bring it up. But, and so that was fine. And we've talked about downvotes from every angle. They're needed in a space where you can upvote literally anything for any reason. Of course you need the inverse action of a downvote. Of course, downvotes are incredibly important when we talk about, hey, I don't want to look at a bunch of copy-pasted Wikipedia articles. There are so many things that downvotes can achieve that we need. So this isn't about, we can't have downvotes. And it isn't about, we can, that we must have many downvotes. But it is interesting how they're applied. And so the reality is I would be interested to see how this application would go. Yeah, and I agree. So Kitty Girl is saying you're spending your time writing a post on one account versus the other. Who cares? You're doing the work on both accounts, and it's public knowledge who owns both accounts. The bad thing is when untrustworthy folks try to hide behind a sock puppet account or farm accounts or troll other people because they lack the courage to do it openly. I see the hiding versus not hiding is the real issue. That's a great point, Kitty Girl. So in the case that we're talking about, I love this Otto with his bread. In the case that we're talking about, this is a person who is very open about owning both accounts and who isn't necessarily just chaining together a bunch of accounts to build votes. Now, gosh, this is going to take over the whole show and I don't necessarily want it to. But back in the day, on the previous chain, on the legacy chain, on the Steam blockchain, Steam and Inc. was creating accounts, and they were creating accounts and giving a 15 Steam Power delegation to each account. And so what people were doing is they were opening 100 accounts, 200 accounts, 1,000 accounts. They were creating giant farms of accounts. They were getting a free delegation from Steam and Inc. They would set all of them to vote each other and one parent account. And then, of course, they would, grab some copy pasta, post it once a day, all vote each other up. And it was this sort of magical money generating scheme. And, that's where a lot of this mentality came from. But here we are on a new chain with the same community, but very different things. New accounts very, very rarely come with any preloaded HP. People are buying accounts. People are buying and staking Hive power. It's interesting now that a lot of the behaviors that we developed because of the way a very specific situation was building on Steam have been carried over to Hive. And this is something that I think is going to change. So the long and the short of it is this is something really interesting, and I agree with Kitty Girl. And I think one of the only ways that we're going to see some of these behaviors on Hive change is if we call them out. And, I just think when we come towards some of these issues, like, can I have one account and then another account for my pet? And will I immediately get blacklisted for, multi-accounting because it's very clear that my dog is not the one writing the post? It's not good for us as a community. So yeah, we could talk a bit about Murphy Dog. But the long and the short of it is I think it will be very interesting, especially for me, Crimson Clad, to do it because there are a lot of people who I don't think would apply either upvoting or downvoting fairly against me. And that would be useful. That would be a good mirror for us to look at how do we interact with each other. Because, I know for a fact that I absolutely get some favoritism, and I don't want to take these people who are kind to me or who like me for whatever reason. I don't want to say, hey, you suck, don't, I hate you, don't be nice to me. But the reality is okay, let's take a look at this. So why is it okay when I do it and not okay when someone else does it? What does that boil down to? Is there some kind of common thing here that we could distill something useful out of that we can move forward on? But with that being said, this topic, we could get stuck in the weeds all day, and it's kind of crazy. The long and the short of it is, because of this, Neil and I were discussing, and Neil came up with the idea of, well, why wouldn't we have, hey, Snook, why wouldn't we have, some sort of community that had its own front end that looked very specifically towards pets and short pet posts and owned blockchain accounts for pets. And the more you think about this, the more interesting this idea becomes. And not just because the internet, was made for cats, not just because everybody loves pets, but one of the things that we've talked about on this show a lot is the idea of blockchain memory. And this, to me, is something that I've taken advantage of before, but we'll just kind of, before we quickly jump into another track, and then maybe another topic, we'll talk about it, is one of the things that we often want with our pets, knowing that animals have shorter lives than us. They do. They burn brighter and they leave before we do. So they will be waiting and welcoming us home when it's our time to go. One of the things that most people want is some way to memorialize a pet, a family member, and an immutable blockchain that is spread all around the world, that has multiple copies. The ledger is replicated, in this beautiful glittering net of nodes spanning the planet. There's something really awesome about that. The idea that not only can I write about my experiences, my feelings, this, wonderful being that shared my life with me, I can commit those words and thoughts and feelings and memories to a ledger that will keep them alive forever. And this is very interesting because in a space where I have seen so many pet services come and go, and so many sites, wipe old content or you get banned or blocked, all of the information, all of the pictures, all of the thoughts and dreams and hopes and whatever that surround your pets, they're gone, right? And it feels like another little death a little bit. I lost a hard drive, actually. And as a photographer, oh God, a hard drive failure without a redundancy with a bunch of pictures of a dog that, passed. And I don't have them. I think about that. It was like dying all over again. And there's something about blockchain that could really fit a niche there. And, there's probably a lot of really interesting services that could come with this. So that's something for us to kind of talk about. But Neil is right. The token woof is fantastic. There are probably some great services. So, this little niggling idea in the back of your mind, if you guys can think of something that you think would be a viable sort of add-on service that could be utilized with a blockchain community, not just, I'm going to post as my dog. Neil was suggesting that you would essentially actually just send in a photo or a caption and somebody on this end of things would actually expand it into a post for you, or lots of ideas here. And I think this is one of those places where the internet runs on, how do I put this? The internet runs on sort of comfort. The internet runs on comfort and spite. Those are the two things. There's a lot of content that's just mean and hateful and horrible, and that's cool. The spite is just a flywheel that continues generating momentum and powers people into infinity. Or the internet runs on comfort. We look up crazy food, beautiful, vacation locations, cute pets, stuff like that. These are the two things that people want. That's it. That's all. Okay. So before we get too stuck, because honestly, that was me talking for like half an hour on a topic that was incredibly disjointed. And I can tell when everybody in chat kind of goes like a little quiet, it's either like fantastic or everybody's like, it's fine. Okay. So Joe's saying, seriously speaking, the issue could be solved if accounts were kept to one per person, but users could follow a person or a subcategory of that user's blog. Yeah. And Joe, it's really interesting because that is something that requires a couple different moving parts, because you're right. I'm Crimson Clad, and these days I mostly post about CyberBuzz Radio or Full Force Radio. But for a while there, I was posting travel photos and, portrait and landscape photography. Maybe you absolutely love CyberBuzz, but Full Force Radio, hate it. And your photography sucks. I don't want to look at it. There's that aspect. Is there a front end that allows you to only follow sort of a granular path of this person and this topic? We could do that. Absolutely, you could do that. In fact, you could do that incredibly easily. The second part that's not as easy is, can I, as a poster, categorize my content that way? And that's tricky. And we've discovered that's tricky because often people, they use tags like crazy. They use communities improperly. Sometimes they don't tag. Sometimes they tag too much. Sometimes they put a completely unrelated tag. And that's something that people struggle with across social media is, can you actively and accurately put sort of, we'll call it SEO, search engine, like it's a similar concept. Can you accurately sort of profile what you're creating for optimized finding it, right? Yeah, Snook's going, I hate tags. Me too. And you know what? One of the things that I think is really interesting, and I used to use it, and I don't know why, and I still do, is every now and again I like to throw in a tag that's just really snarky and sarcastic. That's not useful. No one will ever, go to the tag that's like, Crim hates your face, hashtag, whatever. Hashtag Crim hates your face, hashtag she's a bitch. Those are not helpful for you for finding content. But if you're reading the content and then you read the tags, it's sort of like a little Easter egg. It's funny. It's, there it is. But it's not helpful. And so this is something that people struggle with across all forms of social media. And in fact, across all forms of communication and whatever. Julia's like, I'm dominating the fingies hashtag. Ain't it the truth? The reality is again, we could very easily, the beautiful thing about the blockchain is you could easily have a block streamer, or you could, go back and you could query the blockchain for everything by Crimson Clad with hashtag knitted tea cozy. Absolutely. You could do that, and you could either pull a real-time feed out of the block stream as it happens, or you could go back and you could collect up a whole collection and, look at that anytime you wanted. And both of those would be very useful. From a front-end perspective, absolutely doable. From the perspective of, can Crimson Clad keep her shit together and put content into the blockchain in a way that makes it easy for you to grab it? That's harder. And so that makes you wonder, yeah, the Snook made me do it hashtag. It really gets around. And then I realized as soon as I said that, it's rude. So I'm stopping because I'm not trying to offend you, Snook. What a jerk. Crimson Clad. Hashtag she's a bitch. So this is something that I think is really interesting is, do you guys think, because some social media does this, do you guys think that you should be presented with a list of topics? Do you think that you should be presented with suggested tags? Should there be forms of limits put on that? Because as we know, everybody in the blockchain space is like, fuck you, I do what I want. And that's basically the... There has to be... There has to be sort of something that keeps all these people together. And right now, it is everyone's belief in the blockchain is going to serve a purpose that they believe in. And that's it. Fuck you. You're not going to tell me what to do what I want. I'm going to go to the blockchain and do it. Fuck you. John Lamb is saying, sounds like at some point in this discussion, there has to be a gatekeeper deciding what content goes and belongs where, because people are unable and unwilling to conform to good ideas, even at an objective level. Ain't that the truth? But Neil, a couple of seconds down, says gatekeeper and DeFi don't mix. Yeah, so this is just the most intrinsic struggle of blockchain in general. This is, you found the heart of it. Chop Lamb on one side and Neil on the other, and it's exactly perfect. So, Chop Lamb is correct. Realistically, there would be sort of an interface, and communities on the blockchain do function like this, but the website would be like, okay, I looked at this. It's definitely, you tagged it knitted tea cozy, but I can clearly see that this is a knitted scarf. So you know what? That's fine. We're going to take it and we'll just put it in knitting. You tried. It was close, but you fucked it up. But I'll fix it for you. There's that. And that does make for good social media. That does make for a helpful experience on the internet. But the flip side of things is people who come to the blockchain and people who use decentralized solutions are going, I am sick of your interference. And you know what? That knitted scarf, if you roll it up, is actually a knitted tea cozy. So fuck you. You misinterpreted what I wanted. You changed the way that I, intended for this to be viewed. Fuck you. And that is the constant struggle of sort of blockchain and decentralized and Web3, the idea of ownership. If you were here last week, we were talking a little bit about what makes Web3 and what does ownership mean in a space where there's no physical thing. How do I own something that is nothing? This is some Pocahontas colors of the wind bullshit, and that's a hard thing for people to wrap their heads around. But what we're seeing in this day and age right now is people are sick of platforms manipulating their content, platforms manipulating their relationships. And these things started off, think back, way back They were meant to be helpful. I really like cat photos, and I have all these new Facebook friends, and they're all posting weird shit, but I just want to see the cat photos. And algorithms were born. And initially, the algorithms were like, hey, we're just going to find more things that you like, and depending on whether you interact with them or not, we'll know if we're on the dot. And of course, here we are, a decade later or whatever. Things have not gone to plan. And people are looking for alternatives because these algorithms, these manipulations, these changes, these gatekeepers have made social media not very social. They have changed the intention and the value of relationships. It's a tricky thing. You need just enough of one thing and not enough of another. So the beauty of an open development environment is thousands of solutions and the cream rises. Want a gatekeeper front end? Enjoy. Want a pure randomized feed? Enjoy. So yeah, Matt's exactly right. Ungovernable is spot fucking on. Spot fucking on. Hive and some of these sort of Web3 ready and social blockchains are exactly that. Because it's open source, because the blockchain is this crazy giant information ledger, and you can go to any part of it at any time and do whatever you want with any of the information inside of it. Yeah, you can have both. And that's really the answer here is, well, we do need a gatekeeper. Okay, that's no problem. There will be sites like PeakD that will help you with suggested topics, that will help you with suggested communities, that will help you have tools to help you granularly shape the feed that you want. But then you'll also have people who just want to watch the world burn and want, a feed of all the plain text that comes out of the blockchain, and they don't want anybody to be between them and that raw information because they want to see it and they want to deal with it themselves. Pretty fair. All right, so we're like halfway through the show. I need to play another track. We need to kind of keep things rolling along. But yes, the dog drama, the potential for what allows us to have the traditional parts of traditional social media. There is no mistake that we look for pets and food. And I know I keep saying that, but it's the truth. And actually, there was a really great anecdote that I heard recently, and I looked it up, and it was true. When 9/11 happened, which was obviously a pretty big traumatic event for a lot of people in the world who are internet users, for a lot of people in North America, and 9/11 was a big deal, and people felt very scared at the time. And one of the most interesting things that came out of that was that people started searching for food on the internet directly after 9/11. It sounds crazy. It sounds like there's no correlation in there, but there is actually a huge correlation. People felt sad, uncomfortable, unsure, and scared. And so things like the Food Network and things like people genuinely sharing good food on the internet and, beyond exploded after 9/11. Comfort. Crazy, but that's where social media turned, and it's never gone away. Think of people who, you see them every day, who have to take a picture of their food before they eat it. You think about, the style of cooking show that, it used to be some person standing and stirring, right? Like, I don't even know because I didn't watch them then. Now it's, travel mixed with food. Now it's, get-togethers or, reality shows where people are cooking. I swear this has a point in what we're saying here is we have a couple of things, whether it's pets or food, that we turn to. Yes, Shadows Pub, whether it's normal, it's comforting, that form the backbone of the internet. And the interesting thing is the way that we look for those on the internet has always been a little different. Before 9/11, it was one way. After 9/11, it was another way. In the era of everybody has a smartphone and a camera and everybody has a social media account, all of a sudden it became, forget long form content. I want short form content. Show me really good looking pictures. In fact, now you have to be carrying like a pop-up ring light and I want to see you with like perfect focus. All of a sudden, the way that we consume these things is constantly changing alongside the technology, but we're still consuming these things. The Galloping Gourmet, drunk cooking is so much fun. Agreed. And actually, I've always thought about doing a drunk cooking show that just had like a metal soundtrack and I would just cook in my underpants. It'd be amazing. I'm so here for it. And in this day and age, it would probably go gangbusters. Back at the time, probably not. When I first thought about doing it, now it would probably be like internet sensation. But so the reality is here's Hive, and here is this ability, this new technology to either experience things in a gate-kept or completely unfettered and free way. But the reality is all the people who gather here are still looking for the same things. People are still going to want to see pets, and people are still going to want to look at food. And can the community as a whole build sort of a social construct that supports that? We know it's going to happen. We know it is happening. And seeing some of these kind of weird unspoken rules popping up, unevenly applied, and specifically kind of going to be looking at one of these sectors, like say pet accounts, in a way that might actually kind of crush people's enthusiasm for that. What does that mean for Hive's ability to become that well-accepted, normie and crypto person alike gathering place? It's an interesting thought. So in any case, okay. Shadows Pub is correct. You heard a rumor last night that Krim is speaking at a Web3 conference. Yes. So it is true. We talked about this last week. In January, at the end of January, I will be, I definitely won't be keynote, but I think I will be main stage. I won't be in one of the breakout groups. I'll be doing a big talk around Web3 and actually talking about some of these sort of ideas of social communities and open social blockchains, and talking a little bit about ownership and value and identity in the Web3 space. So you are correct. I will be speaking at the Web3 conference, and I will be working with a bunch of people to get into some of these conferences going forward, because there's a lot of different topics: blockchain gaming, DeFi. It'll be cool. It'll be fun. You are correct. So I'll keep you guys posted on that, but we need to play a little bit of music and then we can come back and talk about some chill stuff. Where this was all going is, if you have ideas about sort of what would a more built out pet-centric front end with blockchain services look like? What would a token look like in that sort of ecosystem? And what are your thoughts on this idea that, having a novelty account is multi-accounting? Because that is something that I think needs to be nipped in the bud pretty quickly. If the content is unique and the content is good, should it matter? Does it matter? It's an important question to ask. Okay, so I promised, yeah, exactly. Knitted tea cozies 3.0, absolutely. And actually, I should get, Corbin actually found the most amazing toque. It's downstairs in my closet, actually, in my front hall closet. It is a cephalopod. It's a knitted cephalopod toque, and it's amazing. So what I should do in this case is I'm going to play one of the holiday songs that I have. It's called Holiday Nights. It has no words. It is not cheesy. It is not terrible. It won't make you want to commit seppuku with a candy cane. And then we'll come back and we'll chat a little bit more. This is the last CyberBuzz. This is the last CyberBuzz radio show before, I guess, 2022. Holy shit, 2022, because of course next week is Christmas Day, and not everybody celebrates Christmas, but hell, take the holiday anyways. And the week after that is New Year's Day. So of course we will all be either still drunk, hungover, just confused how we even got here and another year has gone by. Whatever that day is for you, it's usually a day of reflection, a day of, hope and promise and vomit and whatever else. So neither of these 2 weeks from here on out will have a show. I will be back after that, but it won't even be till January 8th. That's wild. So we got to get this stuff in. So I'm going to play a track called Holiday Nights by an artist called Night Raptor. I'll be right back after that. Ring in the New Year's Day with Krim. The fact that you think I will be functional on New Year's Day is delightful. I will not. There you go. It's got shades of Wham to it, doesn't it? It has sleigh bells. That makes it Christmassy. That's it. Everything is normal. Also, there are sleigh bells. That's it. We'll just call it perfect. But yeah, it's like chill wave. It's a little vapor wavy. It's got the ching, 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 ching. It's perfect. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So, listen, we have been, Elan and Noodles playing fetch. Yeah. So in the break, during that track, Joe was saying, well, okay, listen, a pug named Noodles is going to be on the cover of the New York Times. There you go. Case in point, at the end of the day, what we really want to see is good-looking food and adorable animals. That's it. We are really fucking simple. It just happens to be that now we are creating all sorts of wild, wacky technology. And here we are on the blockchain, and here we are all getting together, and we're inventing, new money, and we're understanding value differently. And at the end of the day, still, really, realistically, everybody just wants to, everybody just wants a dog coin. Fundamentals, ultrasound money, future-proof money, true ownership and all of the rest, crazy technology. But also that one has a cartoon dog. So, oh, goodness. All right, so, we can talk about whatever you guys want for the rest of the show. I have a couple more tracks. I am chilling today because I will be doing a ton of baking after the show is over. I got to do all of my baking. That's a great meme, Ron. Ron's meme says that the existence of a subwoofer implies that there is the existence of a dom woofer. Cute. Not for nothing. Don't go look up like puppy play on the internet. Don't do it. It's not what you think it is. You're not going to get what you want. Mistakes will be made, and you will never mentally recover from it. Oh, Lord. All right. So with all that being said, I was thinking, here we are in coming up on a new year. And it's been a weird one. It's going to be one of those things where the holiday parties will have some controversial topics, and there will be... I think Neil and I are going to have to make this happen. I feel like Neil is very, very serious about this. That is horrid, Ron. Is that a Christmas tree made out of dentures? That is absolutely... It's terrible. The safe word is rough. Oh, good God. All right. So, interestingly enough, and I just flipped into the other, another Discord, and apparently enough people have already raised a stink about the idea of a dog account being a multi-account, that Hive watchers capitulated and said, okay, fine. We won't come after you for having multi-accounts. So there you go. Just takes a couple people to speak up. So knowing that we are in another new and stupid year, what is the topic? Because always, every year, there's a topic that's like, when I was talking about earlier, fist fights during Uno or Monopoly, there's always something, holiday dinners of any sorts. Yeah. Holiday dinners, there's always a topic that comes up that is like the fist fight topic. It doesn't matter. Somebody brings it up and everybody's just gonna have an absolute fucking Donnybrook over it. And of course, the last couple of years, it's been COVID and COVID responses and whether you should even be at a holiday gathering and whatnot. But so this year, there are some interesting ones. And one thing that we've seen, obviously, on this show and in this space is crypto and NFTs freak people out. Either you're all in, you're completely indifferent, or you absolutely hate it, and the NFT people are killing the planet, and they're all scumbags, and crypto is only for bad guys. But whenever you have a year like this year, where, the number goes up, you start getting random texts, you start getting messages, people are kind of like, oh, hey, you're still doing that Bitcoin thing, right? Do you have Do you have the Bitcoins? And I think that's going to come up. I think that's going to come up this year for sure. I think for a lot of people at holiday dinners, there are going to be, oh, are you doing the Bitcoin thing? I heard that's killing the environment. Don't you care about the environment? Or, oh, does that mean you're a millionaire and you're a tax evader now? So I don't know about you guys. In your household, what is the fist fight dinner topic? I'm curious to know, because it's obviously going to be different for everyone. But this show kind of meets up with the intersection of many of them. One of them being, NFTs, killing the environment, you're a bad person. That's definitely going to be one, for sure. And then another one, for sure, will be VR, Meta, Facebook. A lot of the tech that we often talk about on this show, for good or for ill, right? Like this show, we're like very... we're open to both sides of things. We are hopeful for good outcomes with great new technology. We are cognizant of terrible dystopian bullshit. Terrible dystopian bullshit. Shadow says, yeah, you're making it feel really nice. It'll be you guys. Yeah, they don't argue, and good for you. And it's interesting because most of us aren't seeing our major extended family. And in fact, I don't actually know that I will be seeing most of my family on Christmas either. Tonight is just, I have this habit, I have this tradition that has died for many years, but I'm bringing it back. Fuck it. Is I always throw a Thanksgiving for my friends and a Christmas for my friends. And it's for anybody who doesn't have a place to go or who doesn't have a family to eat a meal with. I will open my home. I will cook a lot of food. And if you want to come eat the food and hang out, that's what we do. And so this has been planned for a while. And of course, the Canadian government's like, you can absolutely not have, more than 10 people in your house. And to you, Justin Trudeau, I say good day, sir. I say good day. Read the mug. So in any case, but yeah, Christmas, it'd probably be small. And for many of you guys, for whatever holiday gathering, because of course, not everybody celebrates Christmas and whatever else, whatever it is that you do around this time of year, it traditionally is food, because comfort, and gatherings, and whatever that looks like, fine. But another topic that I think is going to be really interesting and problematic this year is virtual reality, virtual reality, augmented reality, these things that, for a while there was really interesting, was really fun. In fact, I remember when, the first kind of Oculus was really building, everybody would take their Oculus, because before that, VR wasn't portable. You couldn't just grab a headset and go. You had to have sensors and wires, and this is a topic that comes up a lot on this show before. You couldn't do it. And then it was like, okay, well, I could take this and I can show everybody. Everybody can try it. There's no setup. You just turn this on, put it on your head, play a game. And so there was definitely a couple of Christmases there, like 2017, 2018 for sure, where people were taking, Oculuses, and everybody at Christmas was filming their, 80-year-old grandfather beat sabering, and, like the one where you do the tech demo where you're walking on a tightrope over some buildings, and you see all those like VR fail videos of somebody, going, and then just jumping and smashing into the TV or knocking over the Christmas tree or, whatever. But things have changed, right? And especially with sort of some of the changing attitudes towards Facebook, and Facebook's all in on Meta and the metaverse and virtual reality and all that. This year will be interesting. I suspect this will be one of those topics where people will either blindly defend VR to the death and Facebook and sort of this technocracy that's building around this technology, or people will just, I'll never play it, I'll never use it, there's nothing good about it, it's absolute trash, it's, Ready Player One, it is everybody, you can never, ever enjoy any aspect of VR, even for a second, or AR, even for a second, because you're a pawn in the one world government's plan to put you into the matrix as a battery in a vat of goo. There's not a whole lot of nuance in this discussion. And this is what we try to do on this show is like, hey, if you want to play some games, or you want to use something cool like augmented reality, and you want to, you know, walk through an art gallery with your phone and have some of the paintings move, or, you know, have a little person pop up as you move through a space and you come into contact with different NFC chips that, you know, you'll hear information about that or whatever. That middle ground, hard to find. So we'll see. There may be some meta fist fights over the holiday weekend here. And so here's, wasn't that Bonnie in BC who brought that in? Yes, and Ontario has it, Quebec has it, everybody has it. It's not just us. And in fact, we only did it after the East Coast did it, because there's like 10 people in Canada and they all copy each other, and most of that is copied from the States. You know, same old, same old. Neil's saying crypto's used by criminals, and HSBC and JP Morgan were fined hundreds of millions in the past 2 days alone for criminal activities. Sure, but we like them, right? Hey, Sandwick, good to see you. Thanks for following, man. All right, so yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where I think is so interesting, because of course you have the people who will never touch anything in VR. You have the people who they're living in VR. They're never coming back. And then there's this middle ground. If you are looking for something kind of entertaining, one of the best things that VR does at this time of year, let's just see. And one of the best things that VR does at this time of year is stupid little games. So I can recommend some if you're looking for something interesting. They're quite fun. There's quite a few games that are like, you know, small little arenas inside a snow globe, and you have snowball fights and things like that. And I will say, like, you can enjoy these things. You can get in the holiday spirit and play, you know, a little bit of VR and then go outside or hang out with your family or avoid your family or come to CyberBuzz Radio. We can do that. All right, so let me play another track. Today's been very disjointed. I didn't really have a plan, and we spent most of it talking about the intricacies of relationships on social media and how we really like dogs and we really hate other people. You know, if there's one rule that we've kind of determined over the existence of all social gatherings and social medias, it's that we mostly really like dogs and we mostly really hate each other. And yet civilization continues, at least marginally. It limps along because there are dogs, and we often, you know, get over the fact that we hate each other. It's the way the world works, isn't it? So I said I was going to play you guys some more Christmas carols or Christmas songs. I have two that you can choose from. I can play a song about Christmas that is not a Christmas carol at all, and in fact is a little bit sassy. Or I can play a synthwave version of a Christmas song. So, if you had a choice, what would you do? Do you want Hark the Herald Angels Sing or Coming Tonight, in brackets, for Christmas? Rude. It's rude. What can I say? And so, yeah, say it's a Christmas. It's so say-a-see. Synth. Okay, yeah, all right. Look, so a little bit of everything. You're going to get both. It doesn't matter. You're going to get both. But yes, El Gecko's found some great pictures of Murphy. And I have many, many pictures of Murphy out enjoying the second option 11 times. Okay, we'll start. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll start with the sassy synthwave pop song about, you know, whatever you might find in your stocking at any given time. And when we come back, I guess we can talk a little bit about, you know, are there any tech gifts that you want to have for real this year? Because I just got a new phone. I literally haven't even, it's still in the box here. And there are some stuff that I've been thinking about. My dad asked for some weird tech gifts this year, so I thought I'd ask you guys about that. And then we'll just see. We'll see how the end of the show goes. It could be amazing. It could be a disaster. You know, that's just the Crimson Clad way. And I'm glad to have you here. This is CyberBuzz Radio. And on every Saturday, except not for the next 2 weeks, every Saturday we talk a little bit about crypto and blockchain. We often talk specifically about the Hive blockchain, but we also spend a lot of time listening to synthwave music, talking about disruptive tech, and a lot of the times that disruptive technology looks like virtual reality or augmented reality or sort of high-tech wearables and gadgets and things like that, that are part of that future retro aesthetic. So, it's good fun. GPUs, yeah, oh God. I was thinking about getting a new motherboard. These supply shortages, man. Fuck. We can talk a little bit about that too. But so I will play Coming Tonight for Christmas. And then we'll be right back for CyberBuzz on MSP Waves. See? Sleigh bells makes Christmas. There you go. The 80s sound, but Christmas themed. Yeah, ain't it the truth? So that track was like, you feel this in your heart. See, Matt, you see? You see? You felt it. It stirred something inside of you. That song was 1,000% straight up written to target our age group. Like those 80s babies who, when they do go home to see their parents or whatever, they just want to watch replays of like, The Goonies or, Die Hard or whatever for Christmas. That's your jam. You're driving to see your loved ones and all you want to do is listen to like bad 80s Wham and It is an exceptionally targeted track. It's catchy. It's catchy. It's also really inappropriate. But you know what? People are fine with Santa coming for you. So why couldn't it be this nice looking lady in front of the Christmas tree with her little stockings and her sexy little wig? I mean, why not? Why not? It's the holidays, goddammit. Terrible, and yet amazing. But yeah, I mean, honestly, stop and think about everything to do with Christmas. It's absolutely terrifying. You take your child and you go sit your child on some man's lap in a public place, and everyone looks and gawks at them. And, you know, there's all sorts of threats of like, you gotta be good or else bad things will happen to you. There's, you know, weird gaslighting of somebody's watching you at all times. And just, there's so much about Christmas that is so uncomfortable on so many levels. On so many levels. It is, it's delightful. What can I say? It's delightful. So if you believe that, a slightly sassy Christmas tune is not the right way to go for Christmas, well, I don't know what to say to you then. All right, so we're here. We're in the arse end, the back end of the show. Since Otto says not just the heart, the hips, the soul. Yeah, the hips especially if it's the 80s. You need some shoulder movement too. You need a little bit of everything, just all of it at once. So as we come into the sort of back half of the show, the last little bit of the show, there are some silly things going on around our space, as per usual, that we could maybe talk about before the end of the night. And like I said, my dad specifically, he's gonna be mad. He wants for himself and my mom those little like things, like little chips that you can put on your stuff so you can find it around the house. He basically wants like Wi-Fi enabled trackers for like phones and wallets and shit because they're old. And he's gonna kill me for saying that. But yeah, so I have a new phone that just arrived. And I mean, phones are tricky because, you know, Ron always calls them the personal tracking device, and it's true. And the cockles, you felt it in the cockles. Yes, the cockles of your heart, I hope. I don't know if other parts of you can have cockles. If you could have meta cockles even, it's just layers to it. Layers like an onion. It's something that we'll have to delve into on another day. But so phones for me are really tricky because I want a fancy phone. I want a good camera. I want all the cool shit that I can have with a phone. But I hate phones. I hate talking to people. I hate carrying a phone. I dislike apps in general. And all of the phone companies and all of the hardware companies I despise. So that's always interesting, is matching up my needs and my wants with what is available. And so, yeah, I just got a Pixel 6. And what I'm going to be doing this weekend, see, I haven't even done the peel yet. Look at the peel. I could peel it on the air. Oh, but I don't want to peel it on the air. Oh. Okay, you guys ready? Oh, did you hear it? I peeled it for you. Oh, I want to put it back on. I'm not ready. I wasn't ready to peel. I wasn't ready for the peel. But so, you know, one of the things is I mean, I don't want Google in my phone. I don't want Google in my life. But one thing that I will say is I do go out of my way to get Android phones because you can root the snot out of them. You can jailbreak them. You can rip all the Google shit off them. You can put a new ROM. You can flash a new kernel. And so that is going to be my weekend jam, is going to be figuring out what I'm going to run on this phone that isn't the standard, you know, Google bullshit. So that's my particular sort of holiday technology moment. But for you guys, peeling is a very private moment. I agree. Peeling, by the way, peelers is a euphemism for strippers in Canada. I don't know if it's the same around the world, but we call the strippers the peelers. But a peel, I don't know about you guys. I'm guessing most people have this, but is it not one of the greatest joys in the world to peel a protective film off something? Please tell me that you guys get the same innate, ridiculous satisfaction from peeling. Things you learned. There you go. So if somebody says, oh, hey, bye, you want to go to the peelers? Means you're going to a strip joint. Hey, bye, fill your boots. Peelers was good tonight, eh? That's what it is. So I'm curious to know if you guys have that same thing, because then I can, Neil, you are a dad. Neil is such a dad. Neil is saying, I am one of those people who leaves the film on as long as possible. Neil, you are a dad. Ridiculous. Only dads do that. Shadows Pub says, I peel that film, it's mine now. Yeah, so this is one of the most like innately satisfying things you can do, I believe. And often, like when I'm at stores or whatever, it's actually difficult for me to not peel things if they're available for me to peel. It's really hard for me to not peel them. Oh God, Ron and Julie at the same time. So you have to ask, okay, we're going for it. Do you have plastic covering your couch also? And you know what? Then we can just start going, we can go down this road, because if you have plastic on your couch, then you're probably one of those people that wraps your remote control in plastic as well. Kitty girl went there too. Everybody is talking about plastic covered furniture. Neil, everyone is judging you. This is what happens if you come to any of my shows. And yes, Otto is now more Canadian. There you go. Otto, but do you have plastic on your couch is the real question. Here's everybody in chat immediately going, but do you have plastic on your couch? Neil, you have forever besmirched your reputation with everyone. And Shadow says, do you peel it? Hey, Wed! You know, it's funny, Wed, you say 8088, which either makes me think of bass, but when you read 8088 together, it's like Bob, sort of. It's like boob, but not boob. It's like you mistyped boob on a calculator. Fun facts, that's what your name looks like. Welcome to the show. So Shadows Pub says, are you one of those people? The signs that go up as you peel it, you buy it. Yes, agreed. I try not to, but sometimes, you know, like look at, let me just, that's it. We're in the weeds. This is no longer a useful show. If you come to CyberBuzz Radio to learn something or whatever, we've finished that. Now we're talking about bullshit like peeling. Tell me you could see something like this. Tell me that you could see that and you wouldn't peel it, because I don't believe you. Look at that. That's an invitation. She's asking for it. Look at her. Just flaunting it like that. Ugh. Yeah, I'm going to peel this so many times. I'm going to peel this privately later. Okay, so the idea was we were supposed to be talking about tech gifts that you guys want for the holidays. Is there anything? Because I know everybody's like, I don't like stuff. I'm too cool. I don't like things. I don't want anything. But I am curious. You make all their kids keep their board game pieces in plastic bags. Neil, you're such a dad. It's fine. You're a good dad. But oh God. That's it. The show has officially lost any meaning and any usefulness. I hope you're all, hey, hi, Hubes. Thanks for following. Today's stupid. We've got like half an hour left in the show and it's fully gone stupid. We started off really good. We started talking about blockchain and we started talking about, you know, Hive, and we started talking about social constructs and rules that get built in communities. And we started talking about how social media centers around comfort and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now we're talking about peeling. And yeah, exactly. She should not have dressed that way. That is clothing. That is an invitation. Shouldn't have left the house like that if you didn't want it to happen. Yes, the wheels are off. What can I say? John Lamb is saying, the general do you want anything for Christmas is hard because whenever I want something, I go out and get it. Yes, and I struggle with that too. And so this year we're doing quite well. I'm convinced my mother that we no longer do big presents between the adults and that we're just going to spoil the shit out of the kids. Because I'm the same way. I don't want a lot of stuff, but when I want something, I just go and get it. I just get the thing I need and then it's mine and then it's fine. That's it. It's good. So, you know, it ruins the gift giving process for sure. But so where this came from is are there any tech gadgets that you want this year? Is there something new that's kind of techie and bizarre or fun that is on your particular list. Because like I said, my parents surprised me by asking for those little tracker things that on your phone you can figure out if you put a tracking chip on your purse or on the remote control or whatever on your phone, you can find it in the house. I mean, that's about as dad as it gets. And I thought that was hilarious, but I'm also like, that's a good gift. That's a good gift. That's fun. That's good tech right there. So I'm curious to know if you guys, yeah. Shadows Pup says, I have 5 siblings with in-laws and children. We decided a long time ago gift exchanges stop at 18. Truth. Big truth. Now, in my family, it's just my sister and my sister's kids. And then there's one other set of children, nephews and nieces, if you will. And that's it. And they're all babies. Everyone's a baby. So we're just entering that time of, having kids between the age of 0 and 6. And that's the time where Christmas is the most crazy and jazzy. So we should just be focusing on them. And then Crimson Cloud will go and buy the things she wants and peel them sickly in the background like a little golem. Oh, Lord. So since nobody is offering up what kind of crazy technology they want, that's fine. Keep it a secret. You don't have to tell me. It's okay. I will say on a peeling note that I didn't think about it all, but I'm renovating part of my house. I'm always renovating part of my house. I always do my own renos, which means they take forever. They're constantly in a state of flux. I'm correcting things that I renovated the first time. But I'm working on my front hallway right now, and I got new closet doors with some mirror in them. And when I got them, I thought, oh yeah, oh hell yeah, look at this. The mirrored panel has a piece of plastic on it. And when I finally do finish staining these doors and hanging these doors, I'm going to get to peel 6 feet from top to bottom. I'm going to get to peel that. And I got so excited and I was so happy. And this morning, I finally did peel them in anticipation for tonight. It was very unsatisfying, guys. I'm still struggling with the experience. There was way too much glue. And the plastic itself was stretchy. And so there was no sound. It was really, really difficult to peel off. And it left residue. It was like 0 out of 10 bad peel. And then I had to do it twice for 2 doors. So now that we're in the back half of the show and I have absolutely nothing interesting to talk to you guys about anymore, and we've kind of blown our load on talking about Christmas music and terrible gifts and fist fights around the table. Hi, Azaria, and all the rest. And now we're kind of in the back half of the show where nobody's saying anything meaningful whatsoever. I'm very sad. Yeah, I know. I understand. And you're right. You can remove the residue and stuff with WD-40, but that's not the point. The point is I was so excited for these peels and they let me down. They let me down hard. Yeah, Goo Gone is great. But either way, it's very disappointing. So I'm just going to peel this phone 16 more times quietly in my... it was so upsetting. I did. Yes, I wanted that I wanted the noise and I wanted it all in like one go. I just wanted to be like yeah. It'd be so amazing. And it wasn't like that. And the dream died. The dream died. Everybody, and now chat has gone away from plastic cover couches, and chat is now, everybody is offering up their best idea for removing residue. So we've got Goo Gone, we've got WD-40, and we've got mineral oil. All of those things are excellent. And actually, in the case of stickers, what people often miss is if you peel a sticker off and you leave a little bit of residue, take the sticker and go tick, 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 on the residue, and a lot of it comes off. Okay, so Neil is saying go to the hardware store and buy some acrylic with the film. Yes, I will literally just go buy a peeling. I don't know what I'll do with the acrylic afterwards, but it's not about the acrylic. It's about the peel. You're right. I will go get something where I know I can just get that. Oh, fuck, yes. And Chomp Lamb says, do you think it's safe to search for a video of satisfying peels? Probably not, but I think we should do it anyways because I believe in my heart that on this show we talk about niche communities, and we use the knitted tea cozy community a lot. I guarantee you 1000% that there is a robust niche community of people who like to peel things. I guarantee you. Yeah, Julia's like, it's probably some ASMR shit. Absolutely. I guarantee you there is. In fact, I'm going to Google it. I'm not going to show you guys, but satisfying Okay. So I got as far as satisfying PE. What comes up? Satisfying peeling, satisfying pedicure, satisfying pens to write with, satisfying performance. That seems not safe. Satisfying peel off mask, satisfying peeling skin, satisfying peeling off scabs. So, general consensus without actually hitting enter on this search, abso-fucking-lutely satisfying peeling is a thing. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to hit enter. Yeah, it is. There is a satisfying peel. And in fact, the first 4 or 5 videos is all ASMR. There you have it. There is a Google question. Why is peeling so satisfying? I don't want to click on it because I'm scared that's going to be more about people like peeling their skin or some shit. What is that? What is happening? So ridiculous. Humans are fucked up. So here we are. You guys, we're coming back to it and we're going, here is Hive. Here is a blockchain. Here is a global community full of people. You got to write great content. You got to do whatever. You got to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. At the end of the day, all we want to do is take photos of our pet, look at really good food, and listen to someone peel the plastic off of a fucking phone. That's it. That's all we want. We're so simple. How do we build a front end for this? Forget woof. How do we build a peeling pet food peel token? Yes, exactly. Forget woof. We'll do woof also. We can have woof and peel and maybe nom. Is there a token? N-O-M? Nom nom nom. Do we have that token yet? Can we make all of these tokens in one? And can we make some front end that speaks to the primal aspect of the human soul? Is it possible? Can we put them all together? I'm scared if we do it, people will be eating dogs and peeling food and it could go really, really wrong. But I believe that somewhere in this mix is the key to full blockchain adoption because why not? I don't fucking know. Azaria says that she's never done a face mask and she's scared. Azaria, the ones that I've done are the ones that they just sit and then you just take them off. But I know why you're scared. And it's because, again, the internet ruined it for you, right? You saw one of those videos where somebody put on like a face mask and goes like this, and then they're going, ah, ah, and their skin is like stretching and they're screaming while they peel their face, right? Yeah, Azaria's scared her skin will come off. That seems very reasonable. So we're drilling down to what our perfect community will be. It can't be like peeling your skin because skin peeling, that's scary. It's got to be peeling a piece of plastic off another piece of plastic. There has to be cute pets, and then there also has to be good foods. So could you potentially have a pet that brings you something that has a peel on it, and when you peel the peel off, there's food in it? Could it be like a dog that brings you a Hungry Man dinner, and then you peel the top off a Hungry Man dinner? If we think about this and we really work together on this, I believe that we could come up with the very best site on the internet. This is going to be like Homer Simpson's car. We can do it. We can definitely do it if we work really hard thinking about this. And I'm not going to lie. I think like Murphy wearing a cute sweater, bringing me like a sealed gourmet version of like a Hungry Man dinner would be amazing. I don't know if you guys know what a Hungry Man dinner is. Do you guys like frozen TV dinners? Do you remember those? There's one brand and it has this terrible like cranberry crumble, like it's got a weird skin on the top of it and it's got like fake mashed potatoes. They're basically just some glue in a tray. Oh, delicious. I want one of those. And they have a top that you have to peel off. Very satisfying peel on a Hungry Man dinner. Very satisfying. All right, you know what? This show is bad. This show is bad, and I'm bad, and you're bad for being here at this show. I'm actually kind of shocked at the direction that we've gone in. I'm not surprised, but I am shocked. So before we end the show today, I do want to get at least one short Christmas song in. I'm sorry, I know. So I'm going to play you a new release by Scandroid, who is a classic synthwave artist. And I'm going to play you his version of Hark the Herald Angels Sing. It's actually a little unsettling. I'm not saying it's scary, but it's kind of like, instead of being like, hark, the herald angels sing. Look at this, man. Hope and peace and love. You're kind of like, the angels are, they're singing again. What? That's what this version sounds like to me. So, yeah. Corbin says that a Hungry Man dinner is a burning hot lava-esque brownie and cold-ass potatoes. Agreed. Okay, Hark the Herald Angels Sing. We'll come back. We'll try and summarize all the things we talked about in today's show because, you know, there were snitches and snatches and tiny parts of this show that were really valuable. And we talked specifically about, you know, some of the culture and ideas and the way that communities, not communities the tech, but communities the people work in places like Hive. We talked a little bit about what would a cool, you know, dog pet token centric front end be. We kind of moved into the Web3 space. And then everything went tits up as it usually does. And now I'm just sitting here yelling about peeling and I don't even know. So let's just listen. Here's some Christmas music, okay? Fuck off. I gave myself a spook there. There you go. A great version of Hark the Herald Angels Sing by Scandroid. You see what I mean? It's still got that synthwave dystopian, like, kind of terrifying aspect to it. And so then immediately the chat filled up with weeping angels. And I gave myself a solid spook. I spooked myself. It's Halloween's all over again. Those are terrifying. So there you go. No, don't say I never did nothing for you. I played you some spooky synthwave Christmas music, which is exceptionally, dystopian Christmas is the best Christmas. You know, Isaria, I don't want to be that guy that points this out, but I mean, arguably, we are living through dystopian Christmas right now. It's happening. Christmas is hella fucking dystopian right now. Yikes. I mean, I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Now, you know, I will say one of the things that I've always found really interesting is the imagery of angels. And this is totally not in any way, shape, the third dystopian Christmas, even if you will. You know, not that this is any way, shape, or form related to the show, but we've already determined that this show is a write-off. It's a fucking write-off. How is it that we got these really nice, sort of ethereal, pretty people with little wings and, you know, the floaty bathrobes when traditionally angels are the most fucked up things on the planet? Have you guys seen what some of like the actual interpretations of angels are? They're like giant balls of like eyes with wings that come out of the eyeballs that just fly around with like fire and shit. I mean, I'm not 1,000% sure how we got here, but that to me is about as dystopian as Christmas could possibly get, you know, where this giant eyeball monster comes flaming down out of the sky and is like, yeah, be not afraid. And people are like, nope, sorry about that. It's a little too late. But here we are. Coca-Cola and everybody else has made Christmas and the holidays much more safe and fun. So I'm just doing my part to remind you that under every Christmas is a dystopian Christmas. It's always dystopian in your heart. Oh, Trin, your family canceled Christmas. Yep. I think there's going to be a lot of that this year. I think there's going to be like a lot of Julia's gif of like a giant hot dog twirling. I don't even know what that is, but yeah. Biblical angels, man. Shit's weird. Oh gosh. Okay. So we're here. We're at the end of the show. You did it. You made it through. Not all of you, but most of you. You did it. Hooray. You did it. We've talked about some dumb shit today. So today's show, if you were around from the beginning to now at the end, A++, good job. If you weren't, the general sort of consensus was we started off talking a little bit about potentially a dog token, a dog front end, a dog coin built on Hive that could capitalize on people's innate need for short, easily consumed posts about pets. And we kind of delved into some of the stuff that type of desire as people, what does that mean for blockchain communities? What does that mean for spaces where consuming content and creating content is inherently tied to rewards? And, you know, this is obviously a topic on Hive and, you know, Steam before that has never gone away. And even on every site, YouTube and Reddit and anywhere that you can both upvote and downvote. Downvotes will always be a little weird. But on Hive specifically, you know, downvotes are tied to the potential payout of a post. And the idea that, okay, if we want to create novelty accounts to go alongside our main accounts, where is it that this culture has created? What's a multi-account? What's, you know, reward pool farming? What's appropriate? How many accounts should you have? And this idea of the community policing itself and creating a place where you want to be is an important one. Upvotes and downvotes are an important part of shaping a place that doesn't suck to hang out at. And at the same time, if we know what everybody really fucking wants is just to look at every dog account and every cat account in existence, can we build a culture that has these unspoken rules and still can foster animal shit posting? Because that's inherently what we want, whether or not we want to admit it. And so that was a talk that we had for a little bit. And that, you know, that was an interesting part of the show. We moved on from that. We were talking a little bit about VR and AR and some of the topics that will be uncomfortable at any particular gathering over this year. And then I don't know what happened. Then everything went off the rails. It was bad. Everything was bad. And for the last bit of the show, I even forget what we were talking about. But there was some peeling, and that was it. From there, everything just sort of went off the rails. So, given that I don't have that much time left in the show, and given that I won't get to see you guys for 2 weeks, because of course we are going into the holiday time, and whether or not you have family that you're going to spend it with, or whether or not you have traditions, or whether or not you celebrate one thing or another, over the next 2 weeks, if nothing else, the world tends to observe that this is a time where we all kick back, we eat some good food, we don't work for the whole thing. It's time of year where everything is coming to a close, and we do our best to kind of emotionally renew ourselves, put bullshit behind us, and place hope in the new year. The last couple years, that's been hard to do, and it'll probably be hard to do again this year. But while I have you, and before you all leave, I want to put it out there that I'm glad you made it through another year. I'm glad you've been hanging out with me, and I appreciate you. I hope you take the next 2 weeks and then the time over this holiday season to take good care of yourself and to take good care of each other. And I want to tell you that I'm thankful for you and that I'm looking forward to a new year hanging out with you and hopefully entertaining you. So with that being said, as we come to the end of the show, this is the last CyberBuzz because CyberBuzz lines up really shitty with the days. Full Force Radio, which is on Thursday nights, which is all about heavy metal, and I mean, at this point, we'll probably include more peeling, more anxious fucking peeling in the background. That will still go on as planned because, of course, you've got the 23rd and the 30th. And what that means is the day before Christmas, the night before Christmas, we're going to have a little party. And the night before New Year's Eve, we're going to have a little party. So it's just CyberBuzz that gets a little fucked up. So if you're willing to come to a heavy metal stream, I'll see you guys later. If this is your jam and I don't usually see you outside of CyberBuzz, then I will see you in 2 weeks. So be it. And as we enter the new year, I hope we'll have a lot of cool stuff. We got to give away that little crimson clad Hive folk. We got to get ready for some new conferences. We got to get ready for a big interview in early January about the Hive blockchain. And of course, there'll be much more this next and upcoming year, I'm sure, with NFTs and augmented and virtual reality and all of the technology that is contributing to our dystopian retro future tech world that inspires this particular show. So, with that being said, I wish you guys Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, happy I got a day off from work and I can sit on the couch and put my feet up, whatever it is that you do. I love and appreciate you guys. Please take care of yourself. If you have to drive anywhere, please be fucking careful. Everybody driving at this time of year doesn't know how to drive in the snow, doesn't know how to drive in the rain, and is probably full of alcohol or is arguing with someone about whether or not they grabbed the present or they picked up the turkey or they turned off the oven and is the Christmas tree lights on and do you think we're going to burn down the house? And I don't really want to go. You always make me go to your parents. I don't want to go. Why do we? Be careful on the roads. All right. Merry Christmas, everyone. Next year will be better. Truly it will. And that's because we're going to make it better. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. And there's also more shows today. So you can go to mspwaves.com, check out the whole schedule. There are more people to come hang out with. If you want coffee and philosophy tonight, you could do that. You can go off the rails with Loud and Proud. But for now, I'm out of here. I'm going to go do some baking. I hope you guys have an awesome afternoon. Okay? Bye.